Hi, this is Justin with Vayu Yoga. Thanks for joining me. Today we are going to go through a shortened Ashtanga Yoga practice, as some days we just don't have time to do a full Ashtanga practice. And when that is the case, you have a couple of options. One is to do the daily minimum, which we do have a video for, and we will put a link in the description below. And the other is to take the approach we're going to take today, which is to edit the practice down to fit the window of time that you do have to work with, so you can get a balanced practice in on the days where you want to get your Ashtanga in, but you don't have the time for all of it. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. So we will come to stand at the top of the mat in Samastitihi, feet together. The hands will press gently into the sides with the fingers connected to one another. Shoulders can come up and then slide down the back. Spine long, chin dropping slightly toward the chest. Connect to our sounded breath. Connect to our bandhas. And with an inhale, we'll reach the arms up, gaze up. As we exhale, we'll hinge at the hips and fold forward. With our next inhale, we'll lengthen out the spine, head up. And with the exhale, we'll take the feet back and lower to chaturanga. With our inhale, we'll come to upward facing dog. And with our exhale, we'll pull the hips up and back to come into downward facing dog. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. With our next inhale, feet come forward, lengthen out the spine, head up. Exhale and fold. And with the next inhale, we'll come all the way back up, reaching up, gazing up. And exhale, hands back by the sides. And again, we'll inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. Our next inhale, we'll lengthen out the spine, head up. And exhale, feet back, lowering to chaturanga. With our inhale, we come to upward facing dog. And with the exhale, pulling back to downward facing dog. Again, 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. With our next inhale, we'll bring the feet forward, lengthen out the spine, head up. Exhale, fold. And inhale, we'll come all the way back up, reaching up, gazing up. And exhale, hands back by the sides, Samastitihi. We'll do one more of these. We'll inhale, reach up, gaze up. Keep the spine long, exhale and fold. With the next inhale, we'll lengthen out the spine. And exhale, we'll take the feet back and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. 1, grounding evenly through the hands here. 2, feel the hips lifting up and away from the hands, and the heels settling towards the floor. 4, and 5. With our next inhale, we'll bring the feet forward, lengthen out the spine, head up. Exhale and fold. And inhale, come all the way back up, reaching up, gazing up. And exhale back to Samastitihi. In Surya Namaskara B, we'll bend the knees. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, straighten the legs and fold. With our inhale, lengthen out the spine, head up. And exhale, take the feet back and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward, bend into the knee, and inhale, arms up, gazing up. Exhale, hands down, foot back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, bending into the knee. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, hands down, foot back, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. With our inhale, feet forward, head up, long spine. Exhale, fold, knees bend. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, back to Samastitihi. And again, bend the knees. Inhale, reaching up, gazing up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthening out the spine. And exhale, taking the feet back and lowering Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward, bend into the knee. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, back and down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Left foot forward, bending into the knee. Inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, hands down, stepping back, lowering to Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And with the exhale, pull the hips up and back, downward facing dog. 1, trying to keep connected to the sounded breath. 2, keep a connection to the bandhas. 3, the pelvic floor is lifting, lower abdomen drawing in and up. It's 4. And 5. With our inhale, we'll bring the feet forward, lengthen out the spine, head up. Exhale, fold, and bend the knees. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, back to Samastitihi. And one more. We'll bend the knees. Inhale, reach up, gazing up. Exhale, straighten the legs and fold. Lengthen with an inhale, head up. And with the exhale, take the feet back and lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward. Inhale, arms up, gazing up. Exhale, back and down, Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And exhale, down dog. Step the left foot forward, bend into the knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down, foot back and lower, Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And with the exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. With our inhale, we'll bring the feet forward, lengthen out the spine, head up. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, back to Samastitihi. In Padangusthasana, we'll step the feet hips width distance apart. Catch the big toes and lengthen the spine with an inhale. Fold with the exhale. So 1, you want weight in the toes. 2, drawing up on the kneecaps. 3, and lifting up with the hands and arms. 4, against the downward push of the toes. And 5. With our inhale, we'll lengthen out the spine, head up. Exhale and pause. Then we're going to catch the waist and inhale, come back up. And exhale back to Samastitihi. In Utthita Trikonasana, we'll inhale, step out to the right, a leg's length distance between the feet, arms to a T. With the exhale, we're over to the right, reaching up through the left hand. We're gazing up towards the left thumb. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. With our inhale, we'll come up, pivot the feet for the other side. And with the exhale, the left hand comes down, right arm reaches up, and we shift our gaze up towards the right thumb. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. With our inhale, we'll come up. And with our exhale, we'll take it back to the top of the mat, Samastitihi. We'll then step out for Uttita Parshva Konasana, wider stance. With our exhale, bend into the right knee, reach the left arm up and over. Gaze towards the left palm. That's 2. On a long line from the fingertips. 3, all the way back and down through the outer edge of the foot. 4. And 5. Inhale, coming up, pivoting the feet. With the exhale, bend into the left knee. Bring the right arm up and over the cheek or ear, gazing towards the palm. That's 2. And again, a long line from the edge of the foot. 3, all the way up through the fingertips. 4. And 5. With our inhale, we'll come up. With the exhale, we'll take it back to the top of the mat, Samastitihi. Prasadata Padottanasana, we'll step out to the right with an inhale, toes pointing to the sides of the mat, hands to the waist. We'll exhale and fold forward. Lengthen with an inhale, head up, and fold with the exhale. Hands should be about shoulder width distance apart. That's 1. Want to keep the spine long. 2, we're lengthening out through the top of the head. 3, drawing up slightly on the kneecaps. 4 and 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale and pause. And catch the waist. Inhale, come up. And exhale, pause there. We'll inhale the arms out to a T. And exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. With our inhale, we'll straighten the arms. Exhale, fold. And let the arms come away from the low back, whatever amount they're willing today. That's 1. Drawing up on the kneecaps just a little bit. 2, keep the weight even through the feet. 3, keep hollowing out the lower abdomen. 4 and 5. With our inhale, we'll come all the way back up. And with the exhale, we'll pause there. With our next inhale, we'll take it back to the top of the mat, Samastitihi. In Parshvottanasana, we'll take the hands behind the back, palms together, fingers up, or palms together, fingers down. We'll step out to the right with an inhale, pivot to face the back of the mat, and with the exhale, fold out over the right leg. That's 1. Draw back on the right hip crease. 2, keep lifting slightly on the kneecaps. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale up. We'll pivot the feet. Keeping the spine long. With our exhale, we'll fold out over the left leg. 1. And again, drawing back now on the left hip crease. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale up. And with the exhale, back to the top of the mat, Samastitihi. And we'll go through a sun salutation to come into Utkatasana. We'll inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. So next inhale, lengthen out the spine, head up. And exhale, feet back, lowering Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to down dog. Not going to hold here. With our next inhale, feet come forward. Feet together, knees together. Bend the knees and inhale, arms up. That's 1. Try to sink the weight as evenly through the feet as you can. 2, reaching up, gazing up towards the thumbs. 3, 4, and 5. Plant the hands, keep the knees bent. Step or hop the feet back, lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to come through to a seated position. So walk, step, or hop the feet forward to come to sit. And we'll set up for Paschimottanasana here. Straight-legged forward fold. We'll catch the big toes. Lengthen the spine with an inhale. And fold toward the feet with an exhale. That's 1. We want to draw up slightly on the kneecaps here. 2. We want to have the feet flexed back and pointed at the same time. 3. So we're pushing forward through the balls of the feet. 4. And 5. Inhale, head up. And exhale, release. We'll run through a vinyasa. We'll inhale to lift. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And with our next inhale, we'll come back through to seated. For Janu Shirshasana A, bending the right knee deeply, let the knee drop down to the side, sole of the foot connects to the left thigh. Come down over the left leg and lengthen with an inhale. Fold with the exhale. And 5 breaths here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, head up. And exhale, release. We're just going to do lift between sides here today. So inhale up, exhale lower, and we'll set up the other side. Left knee bends, right leg straight, coming down over the right leg with an inhale, and folding with the exhale. So if you're not up for doing all the vinyasas today, that's fine. And we're doing a shorter practice. So if being short on time also means doing less vinyasas for you, that's okay. We'll put some alternatives up above here. You take the one that works for you and keeps you connected to your breath. With an inhale, we'll lift the head. Exhale, release, and a vinyasa. We'll take it up with an inhale. Chaturanga with the exhale. Up dog, inhaling. Down dog, exhaling. And we'll come back through to seated. And we'll jump to Ashtanga A. Deep bend in the right knee, planting the foot. Reaching the right arm forward, wrapping the arm around the right leg. Left arm comes behind the back, maybe binding, maybe not. I'll fold over the left leg here. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, release. And again, we'll just lift between sides. So we'll inhale, taking it up. Exhale, back down, bending the left knee now and reaching the left arm forward. Sweeping the arm out to the side, maybe coming around the leg. Connecting hands behind the back perhaps. Lengthening with an inhale and folding with the exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, release. And a vinyasa. We'll inhale to lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And we'll come back through to seated with an inhale. We'll set up Ashtanga C. Same leg position as we just did in A, but this time we're twisting. We're going to twist to the right. If we can, we'll get the left arm to wrap around the right leg. Right arm behind the back. Hands may be connecting, maybe not. That's 2, 3. Flex back on the left foot. 4, and 5. Inhale, face forward. Exhale, release. And again, lifting between sides. Inhaling up. Exhaling back down. Bending the left knee now and twisting to the left. The right arm going around the leg. Perhaps the hands bind behind the back. It's 1. Keep the spine long. Slight lift feeling through the center of the chest. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, face forward. Exhale, release. And a vinyasa. We'll inhale up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. With our inhale, we'll come through to seated. For Navasana, we'll lengthen the legs out, pointing the toes. 1, arms parallel to each other. 2, palms face one another. 3, spine long. 4, and 5. Cross the legs, plant the hands. Inhale, lifting, lowering, and back up with an inhale. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross, press, lift, lower. 1 more time. 1. You can have a bend in the knees. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Cross, press, and lift right through a vinyasa. Chaturanga with an exhale. Inhale, up. Exhale, pull the hips up and back, downward facing dog. With our inhale, we'll come back through to seated. We'll set up Baddha Konasana. We're going to bend both knees, bring the soles of the feet together in as close as is comfortable for you today. Lengthen out the spine with an inhale, and with the exhale, keep the spine long and fold out over the feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, we'll come up. And with the exhale, we'll head to the B version, tucking the chin, drawing in on the lower abdomen and rounding down. 1, we're thinking crown of head towards soles of feet. 2, not that they need to touch. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release, crossing the legs in a vinyasa. We'll inhale to lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. With our next inhale, we're coming back through to seated for Upavishta Konasana. So we'll take the legs out wide. Bring the hands down the legs. Lengthen out the spine with an inhale and fold with an exhale. 1, want to kind of lift up on the kneecaps a little bit here. 2, 3, stay connected to your breath and bandhas. 4, and 5. With an inhale, we'll come up. Exhale, we'll release and head to the B version, catching the feet, legs up, gazing up. 1, 2, trying to find balance here. 3, really connecting strongly to the bandhas. 4, and 5. Cross the legs, plant the hands. We'll run through a vinyasa, lifting with an inhale, chaturanga with the exhale. Up dog, inhaling, down dog with the exhale. And with our next inhale, we'll come back through to seated. And we'll lie down on our backs to set up our back bends. These can be bridge poses or Urdhva Dhanurasana, an upward facing bow if that's part of your practice today. Knees bent, feet hips width distance apart, hands either by the sides or up by the ears. With an inhale, we'll lift the hips. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, we'll lower down. Maybe move the hands in a little bit. And with an inhale, back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lowering down with the exhale. And again, any adjustments. With an inhale, we're back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower down. Draw the knees in toward the chest. A gentle squeeze here. And we'll make our way back up to seated to revisit Paschimottanasana for 10 breaths. Take whatever hand position works best for you here. Lengthen with an inhale. Fold with the exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. With our inhale, we'll come up. Exhale, release. And vinyasa, we'll cross the legs. Inhale to lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll come through with an inhale to seated. We'll lie down on our backs, and we'll do a bit of a shortened closing sequence as well. So we're going to come into shoulder stand, Sambala Sarvangasana. Hands to the low back, supporting the low back. And the toes are pointed towards the ceiling. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll be here for 10 breaths. 6. Come down if you need to come down. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keeping the spine long, we're going to hinge at the hips, bringing the feet overhead for halasana, plow pose. If the toes touch down, we'll try to get the toenails to touch down rather than the toe tips. That's 2. I'm going to keep the spine lengthened. 3. We're drawing up the legs. 4. And you can have the hands 5 released from the low back and interlaced, pressing into the mat. 6. Or still supporting the low back. 7. And 8. We're going to come into Karnapidasana. Let the back round a bit here. We separate the knees. 1. Bringing the knees toward the ears. 2. Feet stay together. 3. If the knees make it to the ears. 4. We're squeezing in on them lightly. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Coming out of this, we're going to bring the hands back to the low back and come up to a shoulder stand. And then we'll just bend the knees, round the back, and roll down and come up and run through a vinyasa. We'll inhale up, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, exhale, downward facing dog. And we're going to set up for Shirshasana, a headstand. If headstand is not regularly part of your practice, then you can do some dolphin presses. I'll throw a little insert up above showing those. And if you are coming into a headstand, we'll be here for 10 breaths. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to come into Ardha Shirshasana, a half headstand, sort of a pike position, lowering halfway. So 1, we'll be here for 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Our next inhale will come all the way back up. We'll exhale, stay here. Another breath in. And with the next exhale, we'll hinge at the hips and lower the feet back down to the mat. And make our way into child's pose for about 5 breaths. We want to stay here, softening the body, giving ourselves a little time between being upside down and moving forward here. So just let the body relax, keep connected to the breath and the bandhas. And then we'll make our way into a plank position, lowering to chaturanga with an exhale, up dog with an inhale, and downward facing dog with the exhale. With our next inhale, we'll come back through to seated, and we'll set up for the final 3 postures, which are all done in lotus or half lotus or perhaps no lotus if that's where you're at today. We're going to take the hands behind the back, grabbing hands, wrists, forearms, or elbows, or if you're in lotus and you want to bind the feet, go ahead and bind the feet. We'll lengthen with an inhale and fold over the crossed legs with an exhale. We'll be here for 10 breaths. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Our inhale will come up, releasing the hands from the back, letting the hands or the wrists come to rest on the knees, thumb and index fingertips touching softly. The other 3 fingers join one another and point towards the floor. Spine is tall, chin is dropping slightly toward the chest. Padmasana for 10 breaths. And we're already at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll relax the arms for a moment and set up Utplutahi, the uprooting of our lotus, planting the hands between the hips and the knees, pressing down and inhaling to lift. It's 1, 2, we want to gaze forward, not downward. 3, 4, 5, keep lifting the knees. 6, 7, press up between the shoulder blades. 8, 9, and 10. We'll lower down. And one more vinyasa. If you'd like one more vinyasa, we'll inhale to lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And with an inhale, we'll come back through to seated. And we'll lie down on our backs to take a short rest. So we want to give ourselves an opportunity to soften as completely as possible here. So we can attempt that all at once, or perhaps little by little, however it is that works best for you. And as the body relaxes and softens into the mat, we can let go of any efforts in the breath. We can let the bandhas and any effort towards maintaining them drop away, so that little by little, everything lets go, everything settles, everything softens, and we allow ourselves to transition from actively doing to simply being. And I'll leave you here in this quiet space for another minute or so. And of course, if you have some extra time and you would like to spend it staying in this relaxation posture for longer, you are welcome to do so. Otherwise, we will take a nice deep breath in through the nose, softly let that out, And we'll begin to move our fingers and toes around just a little bit. Reach the arms up overhead, and with an inhale, stretch out, fingertips to toes. Soften with the exhale. Bring the knees up in toward the chest, wrap the arms around, and maybe a little squeeze, maybe a little rock from side to side, maybe a little rolling if that feels good for you. We'll roll over to our right side and soften here for just a moment. And then we'll make our way back up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that might happen to be for you today. We'll bring our palms together, let the thumbs rest gently against the center of the chest, and we'll softly turn our awareness back to the breath for a moment. Well, thank you for joining me today. Namaste. Well, if you enjoyed this practice, let us know. You can drop a comment down below. And of course, we always appreciate it if you would like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. We'll see you next time.